Let's start with what's wrong with the Victorian Liberals. This week, a long-awaited review into the party's failure at last year's election was released. This is 12 months this weekend since that election that saw the coalition in Victoria reduced to just, how many seats? 27 seats.
Yes, pretty sad.
Massacre.
Pretty sad, yeah.
The election review by party elder Tony Nutt blamed federal chaos, internal wars with donors and also confused policies. But I was interested in this. Mr. Nutt said the focus on African gangs became a distraction for some key voters who saw it as a political tactic rather than an authentic problem to be solved by initiatives that would help make their neighbourhoods safer. What do you think of that, Bernie? I mean, you're one of the few who survived this electoral massacre. Is the review accurate? How do you see it?
Look, I don't think the African gang issue or the gang issue, I don't call it an African gang issue because I don't care what colour they are or where they're from. I don't care whether they're Scandinavian gangs, wherever they're from. I don't care. If people are being beaten up, if they're being robbed in their homes, if they're having their cars carjacked, that's an issue for people. And we highlighted that. And it's still an issue now. 12 months later, it is still an issue. And those people who are concerned that it wasn't an issue obviously are not living not living in my electorate, that's for sure, because it's happening certainly in the outer west to a very large extent. But really what happened, why we were massacred last year had nothing to do with Matthew Guy because he led the party superbly. The parliamentary party was more united than I have ever seen it in 20 years. We were on message, we were focused, we were doing everything that we should have done. But unfortunately there were some within the organisational wing of the party who had set out to bring us down. It was treachery of the first order.
Why would someone within the party want to see you fail? That's what I don't understand. I can understand different factions, but why would they in an election campaign want to damage their own side? Because
they were of the view that they could not control the party if Matthew Guy was Premier. And they set out, would be 3 years ago now, to ensure that happened.
But let's be honest, he was never in danger of being Premier. I mean, I
think we were at the start of the campaign, well, certainly before all hell broke loose in Canberra, we were in a pretty competitive position. And I think we could have won that election, but...
so who are you blaming? Who do you see as...
There were some powerful people within the organisation of the party who set out to destabilise us, to wreck our campaign. I mean, we went into the campaign, for example, with hardly any money at all. It was only when we sorted out the problems with the Cormac Foundation, and that was almost at the death knock, that we were able to get off the ground to run a campaign. And as it turned out, the campaign was hopeless anyway, because we had somebody running the campaign at the administrative level who didn't have a clue.
Are you willing to name names about...
I will certainly name names privately, and I have certainly named names privately to senior people in the party. Most of them that were responsible for what happened last year, thankfully, have gone, which I'm very pleased about. The big plus is, Rita, that the Liberal Party in Victoria now, organisationally, is in a far better position now than it was 12 months ago.
But if there was an election today, let's be honest, it doesn't matter if Michael Kroger's no longer there or the others who have departed the party. It would be another landslide to Labor. I mean, really, if there was an election held today, Dan Andrews would be returned, maybe not with as healthy a majority as he has today, but certainly, I would imagine, with a fairly easy win.
Yeah, look, I think he probably would get back, but we don't have to worry about that for another 3 years. Unfortunately, I wish there was an election this weekend. Victoria needs an election this weekend. But, Michael O'Brien has done a remarkable job in the 12 months. I mean, after what happened last year, we would have been well within our rights to just rip each other to pieces.
Who's the deputy leader of the Liberal Party?
Cindy McLeish.
Yes. I would put it to you that if you went out and polled 1,000 Victorians, not a single one would be able to tell you who she is.
How many would be able to tell you who the Deputy Premier is?
Well, OK, that's a good point. But we don't see her in the media. We don't see her in the front lines landing a blow, and it seems like that I don't know. Does the Liberal Party in Victoria know what it stands for? Does it know what it is, other than being against Dan Andrews?
Yeah, we do. We do actually. We have a leader in Michael O'Brien who has a very, very strong grounding in philosophy, in belief, and that is a really good thing. But you look. Can I just ask you to look at this year? For the first half of this year, you know, we got copped a flogging 12 months ago, as you said, and it shook us to the core. For the first 12 months, for the first 6 months, we couldn't do much because there was a federal campaign, and then there was the aftermath of the federal campaign. So we have really only been going for about 4 or 5 months as a state parliamentary party. I think we have been in that time remarkably effective in highlighting some of the issues, such as the extended tolls, such as the Belt scheme the Belt and Road scheme that Daniel Andrews has signed Victoria up to. You know, these are some of the issues that we have been pursuing. Now, you know, the fact that our name hasn't been attached to them necessarily doesn't mean that we haven't been behind highlighting them. And I think, who was it? I can't remember. I think it was somebody. Might have even been Brendan O'Donoghue from Channel 7, hardly a friend of the Liberal Party, said that a few weeks ago, or a couple of weeks ago, we had the best day that he had seen in 12 months in the Parliament from the Liberal Party. So we are getting our act together. As I say, after what happened last year, we were well within our rights just to fall to pieces, to implode. That didn't happen. It's not going to happen.
Lastly, on that, there's also been the argument put forward, not in this review, but by others within the party, that because it was such a massacre, the ones who held on are the ones who've got the safe as houses seats, and the ones who don't typically work as hard as the others, who've got to really put in the miles to hold on to their seat. Is that a problem now with the Liberals, that the ones who have remained have just got the safest seats? They don't have to fight hard. Their position is secure, and that's possibly why, you know, Dan Andrews' government has just swanning along without really having any major blows.
Well, I don't think they are swanning along, but I think there are also a number of members now who are in very marginal seats, and they have to work very hard just to ensure their survival next time. We've got some great young members, Bridget Valance out in Evelyn, Brad Rosewell in Sandringham. They are great members.
Well, there are some once safe seats that are now marginal, so that might change the dynamic.
And you've got to remember, last year we didn't just lose marginal seats; we lost some very safe seats.
Yeah.
You know, Glen Waverley, Box Hill, you know, seats like that were just Hawthorn. Yeah. I mean, that was the shocking part of the election. But we are getting our act together. We are in a better position now, organisationally, than we were 12 months ago.
I was away for the entire Victorian election campaign, and we were coming back from Europe and landed in I think it was Hong Kong. On the evening of the Saturday after the election, and the very first story that I got online and read was the seat of Brighton, bluest blue ribbon seat. A Labor candidate, a teenager that had put up, was at that stage winning the seat. He ended up losing, but I mean, this is the sort of massacre we're talking about. It was an absolute annihilation.